I know what it's like to finally feel seen, to meet someone who speaks your language, touches your soul, makes you believe that maybe this is it, maybe this time I've found something sacred, I've found the one. But then things get quiet, your power feels smaller, your peace starts slipping away, and suddenly you're shrinking. And you're shrinking to hold on to a love that once felt like a prayer. Sisters, that's not divine. That's a divine counterfeit. I know. I was also as shocked as you are right now when you hear me say that that was a divine counterfeit. And if you're not yet shocked about the divine counterfeit, you're about to be shocked. So these divine counterfeits, they literally don't show up covered in red flags. They don't. They show up wrapped up in romance, dreams, spiritual talk, and still leaves your soul starving. Still leaves your spirit starving. So basically, guys, welcome to today's video. For those who are new here, welcome and welcome to my channel. I go by Melissa, and basically today's video is just about he looks divine, he feels divine like a dream, but he's a trap. And here's the truth about divine counterfeits. Like, I'm telling you guys, when I came to learn about divine counterfeits, I was like, that's really, really, like, really good. And I'm so sure so many people have fallen into this divine counterfeit trap, because I myself was in it. Like I said, most of the videos that I make them because in most scenarios, I have experienced some or most of them, but not all. But for the ones that I have, of course, I won't be ashamed to say, like this one, the divine counterfeit, I was wowed. Like, anyway, let's get into today's video. I know by now you're asking yourself, what in the hell or what is a divine counterfeit? A divine counterfeit is someone who mirrors your manifestations but carries a frequency that would quietly derail your purpose if you stay. And that's like the crazy part. Did you hear what I just said? Like, a divine counterfeit is someone who mirrors your manifestations but carries a frequency that will derail your purpose if you stay. Mind you, don't forget, keyword is someone who mirrors your manifestation. This means they look like, they come packaged looking like literally your answered prayer. If you're not yet shocked, let's continue. Like, stay with me. You're about to be shocked. They make love like a spell. Like, when they make love to you, it's how you've always wanted it. They provide like a king. You name it, they'll give it. They speak in affirmations. You see the reassurances that you've always wanted from your partner, they give it like 100. You see how you've always wanted a religious man who's close to God? Yeah, they are that too. They'll give you Bible verses, they'll speak your language like 100. 5 is they match your energy 100% until they start managing it. They match your energy until you feel so safe around them that you lower your guard down, and now they manage your energy. But behind the dream, Behind your dream man, your answered prayer. Behind them is control. Behind them is energetic imbalance. And that's why they match your energy and want to manage it, because their energy is imbalanced. The last most important one is manipulation. With them is disguised as devotion. Like you find and you feel like this guy is so devoted to you. Stay with me, stay. The peace versus pleasure trap. So you find that with your divine counterfeit, there is more, you feel more of pleasure than peace. And when I say peace, I mean you're at a point where you kind of, because this is someone who mirrors your manifestations, so you're at a place where you feel like, I feel them, like finally, is this actually true? But then as you ask yourself that, you're kind of peaceful, but then also there's a part of you deep down that is like, yeah, that's not peace. So with them, you feel more pleasure than peaceful. 2, they excite your nervous system and not your soul. That's why when you're with them, you feel like you have this high rush of dopamine and you just feel like, but then when you're not with them, you feel really low, because it's like withdrawing from a drug that you've been addicted to. 3, they trigger longing more than they trigger grounding. Your soulmate or your divine counterpart should actually trigger more grounding rather than longing. But with your divine counterfeit, who looks like your divine counterpart, they trigger longing and not grounding. The 4th thing you need to know to help you with the pleasure versus peace trap is they give you intensity and not intimacy, but your divine counterpart will give you intimacy and not intensity. Almost one of the same things, but 2 very different things. And like they give you intensity, not intimacy. The 5th one is that pleasure makes you stay. Peace sets you free. You feel, and when I say this is where, have you ever been in a situation where you feel like you're so addicted to this person that whenever you're not with them, or even if you're with them, you're really longing them, and it's just so intense and not intimate? The pleasure, because with them it's more of pleasure and not peace, will make you stay. Because with them you feel like you're heard, you're seen. It's like 100% what you've always wanted. But then they're not. Behind that mask is someone who wears an energy that can derail your purpose. And that's very risky. So in case you've met someone and you feel like they're your divine counterpart, just ask yourself, do I feel safe or addicted? And be honest with yourself. The second thing you need to ask yourself, do I feel expanded or do I feel confused? The third thing you need to ask yourself, do I feel loved or do I feel energetically managed? Because the aim of your divine counterfeit is to throw you off of your path, is to distract you from fulfilling your soul purpose, is to make you choose to be shrinked to experience what you've always wanted. If you ask yourself those questions, I feel like you'll be at a position to know if that is actually your divine counterpart or that's your divine counterfeit, keeping you away from your divine counterpart and keeping you away from fulfilling your soul purpose. Right now, I want to give you guys signs that you are with a divine counterfeit. As much as the questions will help, let me just share with you a few signs that will help you know that you are with indeed a divine counterfeit and not your divine counterpart. First sign that you're with a divine counterfeit is that you override your intuition because he's so good on paper. And I mean, your intuition is literally screaming at you that something is wrong, but you choose to shut that down because he checks all your boxes. And him checking all your boxes might also be a problem because no one is 100, right? If we're being realistic, as much as you pray to God for your divine counterpart, you'll get someone who's like him, but just not 100%. He has faults or she will have faults. So yeah, you override your intuition just because he's good on books or he or she is good on books or on paper. For example, he prays with you, but subtly mocks your emotional needs. At this point, of course, your intuition will be screaming at you that something is not adding up, but because he's ticking all your boxes, you'll silence it. That's your first sign. Sign 2, you slowly start to abandon your spiritual practices. For example, you used to journal daily, right? Now your focus is just on keeping him. That's your second sign. First of all, before I continue, I just want to say sorry if you're hearing so much background noise. It's Friday. Anyways, the third thing you need to know is, like the third sign, is he uses softness as a shield. For example, he never raises his voice, but always makes you feel like the unstable one. He's always making you feel like you're the problem. He's always gaslighting the situation in the most calm, sweet way possible, making you feel like you're the crazy one, and yet you're not. So that's your third sign. The fourth sign is you're exhausted, but you can't explain why, you're just exhausted. For example, he's being helpful, but you just feel drained. When you're around him, you always feel like energetically, you're just so drained, you're just so exhausted, and you can't explain why, but that just happens only when you're around him or when you talk to him. That's your fourth sign, that's your divine counterfeit and not your divine counterpart. 5, your purpose starts to dim. Remember when I told you that your divine counterfeit is literally a mirror of your manifestations, but then the energy that they hold behind them is an energy that will derail you? Because the 5th sign that you're with a divine counterfeit is your purpose starts to dim. Because that's their purpose in your life. It's to distract you from your actual purpose, from meeting your actual divine counterpart. This is like where the universe is putting you in a position where you have to either choose between what the heart wants or alignment. Because if you choose alignment, then you'll be able to walk away from this divine counterfeit. You'll even be able to realize that this person, it looks like they are aligned with you, but they actually are not. For example, what do I mean when I say your light starts to dim around them? Like your purpose, well, yeah, actually your light will start to dim too. Because if you're already feeling exhausted, drained, and your purpose is dimming, that means your light has dimmed. For example, he supports your dreams, but only when they don't outshine him. If he feels threatened by your dream, he won't support it. Actually, he won't support it, but remember, he won't support it in the most soft, cutest, sweetest way possible. And you know what? Sadly, you'll understand. Because this is a mirror of your manifestation. Literally, at this point, you're thinking you met the one. But it's all in the energy, guys. And I feel like I have mentioned this a couple of times in the videos. How you're going to know someone is not for you, or someone is planted into your path. As I was saying, it's all in the energy. Energy will never lie to you. If your spirit tells you that, like, even if you like get the littlest feeling that something is off about this person, something is off. Like, something could be off. It's just a matter of time till you find out. So it's always in the energy. Energy never lies. People lie, but energy is something that won't lie to you. So basically, right now, I want to help you understand more why these divine counterfeits are allowed into your life. Because I know at this point you're like, why would my divine team or God allow someone like this to be in my life? Well, this is why. This is why divine counterfeits appear. One, they actually appear when you're in a brink of a breakthrough. Two, they actually appear when your soul is rising. Three, they actually appear when you're about to enter a divine partnership. They actually appear when you're ready to enter a divine partnership. When you're ready for a divine partnership, that's when they also appear. But they appear when you're ready for a divine partnership, but you haven't fully closed the wounds that attract the distraction. Those are the three reasons why divine counterfeits come. You're in the brink of a breakthrough, your soul is rising, and you're ready for a divine partnership, but you still haven't closed out some wounds that make you attract the distraction. These connections, like the divine counterfeit connections, they actually test your discernment over desire, self-trust or validation, and purpose of a partnership. Those are the three things that your divine counterfeit is sent to your life to test. But as much as they are sent to test, they can destroy you in the purpose, like in the process of testing you. Because if you choose desire over your discernment, that your discernment will be telling you something is off with this person in his energy, but your desire makes you ignore your intuition, you'll end up giving up and being thrown off your soul purpose, and then you'll feel lost, and then you'll just feel like life is just not interesting. If you choose validation over self-trust, because if you trust yourself, you literally won't need validation from another man. So as much as he's all that, you'll be able to tell he's still not all that, because there's something off in his energy. If in case you decide to choose partnership over your purpose, then literally I don't have to explain to you that you chose to sacrifice your purpose, like what literally brought you to this earth, for a partnership, for what you felt like that's all you've ever wanted. And yet it's not. You're yet to meet all that you've ever wanted. This is just a test to see if you'll choose discernment or you'll choose desire. If you'll choose self-trust or you'll choose validation. If you'll choose your purpose or you'll choose that partnership that will silence you, shrink you, just turn you into someone you promised yourself you'll never become. Please remember, you're not being punished. You're being prepared. Your divine team and God just want to see if you're ready for what you're actually asking for. The divine counterfeit isn't there to destroy you. They might destroy you, but they are not allowed into your life by your divine team to destroy you. They are brought in to reflect what you still need to reclaim. They are there to mirror. Remember when I started this video, I said your divine counterfeit mirrors your manifestation. So they are meant to mirror a side of yourself that you're yet to reclaim. The wounds that you're yet to heal from, that are keeping you stuck and keeping you away from your real divine counterpart. Please remember that your divine counterfeit and your divine counterpart might look similar. The only difference is the energy. Please remember that. Please remember that. The only difference between your divine counterpart and your counterfeit is the energy. Otherwise, he is all that. All you've ever wanted. All you've been praying for. But the secret is in the energy. Stop asking, but what if I never find someone like him again? Instead, ask yourself, why am I scared to be fully in my power without him? Why? Because that could be the only reason why you feel like you can't walk away from this divine counterfeit, despite you realizing he's a divine counterfeit, because you feel like you're longing for him and you now like are addicted to him and you just love the intensity. Clock that. Like, that person is holding you back from you, like real answered prayer, literally not a mirror. So clock it. You're not here to beg for love, my love. You're not here to beg for love. You're not here to babysit someone's potential. You're allowed to see their potential. You're allowed to help them see their potential, but it's not your obligation to babysit someone's potential. You can see it, you can help them see it, but it's not your duty, it's not your obligation to babysit their potential. You're here to be divine. And trust that. Trust that you're here to be divine. Anything truly divine will never ask you to betray your soul to stay. Because when you decide to stay with a divine counterfeit, you're literally 100% betraying your soul. 100%. So just know anything that is divine will never make you betray your soul to stay. Well, if this hit your spirit, don't silence it. Comment. I choose peace over performance. I choose purpose over potential. So guys, this brings me to the end of my video. Thank you so much if you've watched it this far. I really appreciate your support. It goes a long way. And I hope you had an amazing week. Happy Friday, y'all. So thank you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Your support literally goes a long way. I know I say that like all the time, but that's the truth. Well, subscribe for weekly soul truths that protect your light and help you walk in your power. So bye guys, I love y'all.